Hey y'all, my name is Kayla and welcome to my cozy chaotic corner of the internet. So in today's video, we are going to be doing another monthly TBR pick, but I've decided to set aside the bingo card for today and we are going to be utilizing our trusty old TBR Pickle Jar. But before we start to do our shaking and pulling of the pickle jar, I wanted to do a little small haul for y'all. And what small hauls are, if you do not know, back in the day when I used to stream on Twitch, I would do these little things called small hauls where I would just highlight small businesses. And today's small haul is for Moondog Studio, where I got this gorgeous little mug. Gorgeous. Always remember, support your local artisans. And if you guys are ever interested in following along on my adventures to art fairs or any sort of thing where I am supporting local businesses, I would highly encourage you to go follow me over on Instagram at Kayla Alon. That is where I post a lot of stuff within my stories. So if you guys ever want to tag along a day of adventures, 10 out of 10 recommend hopping over to Instagram and checking it out. With all of that noted, I want to explain why we aren't doing a game of bingo this month. I think 2 months ago, I introduced the TBR Pickle Jar. I enjoyed the actual act of pulling random books from my actual shelves so much. And also, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little burnt out on bingo cards. As much as I love making the bingo cards, as much as I love doing the actual game of bingo itself, something about reading all those books, it just feels a little daunting. It's a little daunting sometimes, so I wanted to take a little break. I think we might be doing more seasonal bingo cards in the future. So don't worry, the bingo cards will be back. I'm just taking a little break, taking a little breather. And we are going to be utilizing the pickle jar today. And before we start pulling books from the TBR Pickle Jar, I just want to note that this month's bingo card, y'all, the month is not over as of record. So I am so close to reading all of the books on July's Christmas and July bingo card. If you've been following along for a while, this will be the first month that I actually complete a bingo card. If I complete it, I currently have 4 books left to read. I'm in the middle of 2 of them. One of them I might DNF, I'm not gonna lie. We're very, very close. That will all be in next week's July wrap-up video. So if you're interested to learn about all the books I read, not only from the bingo card, but also other books, I would highly recommend subscribing to the channel and turning on your notifications so you are notified when the July wrap-up video hits. But with all of that noted, let's hop into the world of the pickle jar. If this is your first introduction to the pickle jar, I literally just shake this up and pull a random card. These are all cards. I keep calling them cards. I pull a random card. All of these are books on my shelves, on my physical TBR. They all exist in here. So we're just gonna shake them up. Shaking them up. And I've been doing my best to also add new books in here as well. So we might get a new one. We might get one that's been sitting on the shelf forever. But let's find out with draw number 1. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I plan on only drawing 5 books from this month. Just give myself a little more flexibility. Okay, we are dealing with The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. This is actually a newer edition. I think I got this not last month's, but the months before Book of the Month box. I've actually heard really good things about this one. Could I tell you what it's about? Not off the top of my dome. So let's just read the synopsis real quick. Soon after her 25th birthday, Libby returns home from work to find the letter she's been waiting for her entire life. She rips it open with one diving thought: I am finally going to know who I am. She learns not only the identity of her parents, but also that she is the sole inheritor of their abandoned mansion. Even in its dilapidated state, is worth millions. Everything in Libby's life is about to change. What she doesn't know is that others have been waiting for this day as well, and although they've been hiding, they are now heading her way. We're just gonna leave it at that. Cool, I'm very excited. I don't know why, but I'm like, with the TBR Pickle Jar picks, it can be hit or miss, you know? I'm not gonna lie, there's some books on my shelves that I'm more excited to read than others. So hopefully we'll get a good mix of like books I'm really excited to read and maybe books I'm not naturally drawn towards, so that I can get those, you know, read and I can be like, yeah, I'm keeping this or I'm getting rid of it. Time for the next pick. Again, we are drawing 5. We are drawing five books this month because August is actually a pretty big reading month for me because I have a lot of videos planned in the coming months. So August is kind of like the kickoff to me reading a lot. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Can I do this in a way that you guys can see before me? I can read through this. In my dreams, I own a knife. Speaking of bingo, my bingo cage is actually sitting on top of in my dreams, I own a knife. In my dreams, I hold a knife. It's in my dreams, I hold a knife. I've heard mixed reviews about this book. Jinx, have you also heard mixed reviews about this book? Come here. What do you think about this book? What do you think about this book? You gotta calm down. No. You gotta calm down. Thank you, ma'am. You gonna hang out here? Okay, so this is a mystery thriller. For sure a mystery. I'm not sure about if it being a thriller or not, but let's read the back together. 6 friends, 1 college reunion, 1 unsolved murder. 10 years after graduation, Jessica Miller has planned her triumphant return to Southern elite DeQuoin University. Down to the envious whispers that are sure to follow in her wake, everyone is going to see the girl she wants them to see. Confident, beautiful, indifferent. Not the girl she was when she left campus back when Heather Shelby's murder fractured everything, including the tight bond linking the 6 friends she'd been closest to since freshman year. But not everyone is ready to move on. Not everyone left DeQuoin 10 years ago, and not everyone can let Heather's murder go unsolved. Someone is determined to trap the real killer, to make the guilty pay. Ooh, oh no. Oh no. I just read a section that's kind of changed my opinion on how excited I am to read this book. Told in racing dual timelines with a dark campus setting and a darker look at friendship, love, and obsession and ambition. I'm not the biggest fan of timeline variables. I like succinct chronological storytelling. So we'll see. You know, this year I've had a lot of predetermined opinions on the type of books I've read, and I've been pleasantly surprised by a lot of books this year. But this, I believe, was a little free library find, so love that. Okay, next pick. I feel like we're taking forever and we're only on book 3 now. Where'd that go? You want to pick out one? Oop. One literally fell out as Echo was sniffing at the jar, so we're gonna do this one. Okay. What are we reading? Shut up. I just recently got this book from a little free library as well, so that's exciting. Lots of new books. Divine Rivals. I have heard so many good things about Divine Rivals. Haven't heard the greatest of things about the second book. I believe this is a duology, but I've heard really great things about Divine Rivals. I believe this is supposed to be like magical realism. And it's about these 2 people, 2 journalists, who start writing letters to each other. And I believe their like little trope is that they aren't the biggest fans of each other, but they somehow start unknowingly are writing letters to each other during a time of war, I believe. I'm not sure if the war takes part in Divine Rivals or the second book, but it's a romance, magical realism situation. When two young rival journalists find love through a magical connection, they must face the depths of hell in a war between gods to seal their fate forever. So maybe this is just straight up fantasy? The reason I thought it was magical realism is because the way people have spoken to this book is that the magical element isn't really that big. Of course, fantasy doesn't always need magic in it, but I feel like anything fantastical usually seems magical to us humans with no known magic in our lives. That's exciting. This is actually a really good stack up, and so far, knock on wood, these have all been pretty slim reads, all things considered. Where did I set my pickle jar? Also, I'm filming this at literally like, it's just now 7 o'clock in the morning, so the sun's starting to come in, so if the lighting is just odd, I apologize. On to the next pickle pull. Okay, this is book 4? Yeah, book 4. We have a yellow card. This is our first yellow one. The colors mean absolutely nothing. Also, it's just Kayla's choice of printer paper at the time. The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. Okay, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. When I initially purchased this book, was this a cover buy? Absolutely. I think this was like a cover buy mixed with, I had heard a few people at the time of it coming out talking about it, and they all seemed to talk about it well. Also, these kind of books where they're the hardcovers, like the printed on hardcovers, same thing for the Emily Wilde series. I wish they had the deckled edges. I just feel like these style books, especially with these covers, would look so good with deckled edges. And I know some people don't like deckled edges, but I love them because it gives me like flashbacks to when I was a child, so excitedly reading a series of unfortunate events. Like, those books just stand out to me so prominently. Sorry, side tangent here. I not only need to add those books to my collection, but I really want to dig and find decent copies of like first editions of those books, because I don't know, just the little book lover in me just knows that more than likely, if they're pre-owned, they were well loved at one point in time, but also I just know how those ones would smell over buying like brand new editions. So good. Deckled edges always bring me back to series of unfortunate events, but I also think like the Tainted Cup and Emily Wilde's would be gorgeous with deckled edges. Anyway, sorry. So the Tainted Cup is actually a detective story in the fantastical world. The main character is a woman detective, and she is assigned a counterpart who is a male, and it's an interesting dynamic of her being very knowledgeable in her field and teaching this guy, but also like he's the young buck who she kind of tries to swipe to the side of like, you don't know anything, but he, you know, he has a trick or two up his sleeve, if I recall correctly. So I am excited to delve into this. Okay, the last pull from the TBR Pickle Jar. We got the TBR Pickle Jar. This is when we get to Kayla's janky handwriting, because there's been a few recently that I've just like written on pieces of paper as I've gotten them in. So this we are dealing with, I can't read through there, The God of the Woods. This is a new release. Oh my god! The God of the Woods. Was this a cover purchase? Maybe, possibly, potentially. And also, I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited about this book, but I'm also not excited about this book because some part of the synopsis makes it sound absolutely phenomenal, amazing, and other parts of the synopsis I'm just like, not sure how I feel about that. When a teenager vanishes from her Adirondack summer camp, two worlds collide. Early morning, a camp counselor discovers an empty bunk. Its occupant, Barbara Van Laar, has gone missing. Barbara isn't just any 13-year-old. She's the daughter of the family that owns the summer camp and employs most of the region's residents. And this isn't the first time a Van Laar child has disappeared. Barbara's older brother similarly vanished 14 years ago, never to be found. As a panicked search begins, a thrilling drama unfolds, chasing down the layered mysteries of the Van Laar family and the blue-collar community living and working in its shadow. The story invites readers into a rich and gripping dynasty of secrets. Wow. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty excited about this little stack. So, in no particular order, we have In My Dreams, I Hold a Knife, The God of the Woods, The Tainted Cup, Divine Rivals, and The Family Upstairs. I think this is a pretty good stack. They're all, again, pretty short. I think The God of the Woods is going to be the longest one in this lineup this month. I'm excited to delve into this. And again, there are a lot more books on my August TBR. A lot of them I'm waiting for from the library, so that's why they're not being featured in this video, because I'm not sure if I'm going to actually get them in the month of August. But just know there's a lot of books being read starting this month. Throughout the rest of the year, there's going to be a lot of books read. But as a little sneak peek, I might show you one of the books that potentially will be read in August. And it's been a book that I have been talking about for a while that I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the most excited to read, but I've been told numerous times by numerous people at this point that ACOTAR is a must-read. So we may or may not be delving into A Court of Thorns and Roses this month. And that will mean it's going to get its own dedicated video. So just keep your eyeballs peeled for that. And with that noted, y'all, I am so glad you made it to the end of the video. If you did, please leave the little like thorny rose in the comments. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.